Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's September 3rd today, and we have quite the wind. And my good friend Tony, little Tony, who you've seen in some of my videos going to pick up, he came with to pick up the Farmall M, and he's in quite a few other videos, plow day videos and such. But he is letting us borrow his pole saw because we have a bunch of limbs to trim. And we're gonna have to get up on the roof to do it, which is gonna be right in this area, and then we're gonna have to go towards the backside to trim some of the limbs on those trees that are growing over the house. So we'll probably do a little bit more trimming of other trees around here. I know there's a few other limbs that need to come down, but anyways, I had a couple requests, or one request and some questions on some of the stuff that's been going on. But one of the things that I had a video request on was the John Deere chainsaw that I have. This is a model 55V. Now, to be honest, I really don't know much about it other than, you know, it's a chainsaw, and I got it from an estate sale, and I got the saw and four chains for $50. So I really couldn't go wrong with that because the saw started right up and ran great. So the only thing it's missing is there should be a side cover plate here for the side of the cylinder here. But I mean, other than that, it runs great. Works great. It could use a new chain. I had all these chains sharpened. I don't have a saw sharpener. I do have a rat tail file, but it was only, I think, $8 a chain at the local hardware store to have them sharpen it. So it wasn't a big deal for me to pay $24 to get the chains sharpened that I have. One of them was too far gone. The fourth chain I have was too far gone, but I'm probably going to buy a brand new chain anyways, but I'm not even sure what the bar length is on this. Let me grab my tape measure. I'd have to believe it's a 20-inch bar. And for those of you who don't know how to measure it, it's at 19 and an eighth. So you measure from the body of the saw to the end of the blade, and you round to the nearest whole number. So if it was 18 3/4, it'd still be a 20-inch bar. This one's 19 1/4 roughly. So definitely a 20-inch bar. And chains aren't expensive for chainsaws. Most of the time they're right around $20. So I'll get another new chain here, or a new chain. But for now, this one's working okay. The mixture is 40-1, and I generally mix all my stuff about the same. So so that's the chainsaw. We'll get a little bit of video of that thing working again. I know there's a lot of videos in previous episodes that I've used it in trimming trees and yard work and stuff that people have seen it in, but I did get a specific request on just this saw for a video, so figured I'd do that today. And let's fill up the fuel tank on the pole saw and start doing some trimming. Alright, we'll give it a shot here and see what happens. go around back here. I didn't want to bring the camera up on the roof with me. You know, I didn't want to jeopardize my safety. I probably do that enough in a lot of people's eyes. Like right now I'm wearing shorts and work boots and using a chainsaw. And there's a lot of people that would highly discourage that, but I'm comfortable in my own abilities, and I know that, you know, chaps and protective boots and all that should be worn. So consider that your disclaimer. Wear protective personal protective equipment, and or PPE for short, and don't do as I do as I say. This is as my mom always used to say. But back here, so this branch fell. It's been pretty windy. It came from somewhere up there, but I've trimmed these branches here that were kind of straggling off this dead portion of this tree, which I still want to cut that portion off, but I've been growing the new grass in here, and I don't want to really trample it until it's well established, and I don't want to drop that big limb in there either. We trimmed a bunch of stuff that was growing over the house here out of this area, so it's all laying here, over here. There's some on the deck up here. So I think we're pretty much done with the trimming. I got to get some brush burnt up. Not today. It's going to be far too windy today, but that's kind of the plan, is finish burning brush here this fall and see what else we can clean up in here. But let me get some of these branches gathered up and piled up and ready to burn, and we'll go from there. Hey guys, we're back in the house here. It's a couple days later actually. I got done with the little bit of brush cutting and branch trimming that we did, and ended up having to cut the video short, so this is kind of an extension of that video. So that is the chainsaw that I use, John Deere 55V. It's worked great. The only complaint that I have about it is the teeth, or the jaw, if you will, that you can dig into the item that you're cutting, whether it's a log or a branch or whatever, to kind of give you some leverage. It's not, most of your modern saws and a lot of your older, you know, significantly older saws have a piece of steel that's bolted or fastened to the front of the chainsaw motor and housing, if you will, and it's got really sharp teeth on it. This one, it's all one cast piece in the housing and everything that holds the engine, and they're not sharp at all. They're very they're jagged, but they're not sharp, and they don't really work too well in digging into something, so you can have some leverage. But that's really the only complaint I have about it. The saw's worked great since I got it, and I only paid $50 for it, and it came with 4 chains. So the chains themselves are, you know, almost $20 a piece or more. So so that's the saw. So hopefully I addressed that question and gave a little bit of working the saw to satisfy those who were asking about it. Throughout the last month or so, I've had a number of questions regarding some things that people have noticed in the video, and that is that the question's been raised about where a lot of the tractors are. And I'm not going to go into detail, but I've made the decision to sell 4 of the tractors that I had. My family has suffered a lot of trials and pain, and just very, very difficult times over the last 3 to 3.5 months. And I'm not going to go into detail, and Everybody's been very, very respectful and everything, not prying or asking anything, and I appreciate that very much. But know that everybody's healthy. Baby's doing fine, mama's doing fine, I'm doing fine. So it's just some other things that have been going on, and it's been very, very difficult, and that's why the videos haven't been coming out so much this summer. That, and there's no tractor shows. Although I will surprise you guys with a video after this coming weekend, because we will be going to a show, but I'm not going to give you any clues as to where it is or what we're going to see. Tractor projects, the H, all we're waiting on is the tin work to get finished, and in order for us to do that, Domino has to have a little bit of time, and I'm not trying, I don't want to bug him because he's got 2 really big projects on his hands and they need to be done before winter. So worst case scenario is, the advantage we have is we don't have any shows to rush for to get the tin work done, and the tin work either makes or breaks a restoration, and I want this thing to be as flawless as we can get it. And Domino needs to finish those projects. One is a treehouse that he's building for his kids, and that treehouse is awesome. I'll give you a picture of that here too in the video. And he's also just recently had a shop. His old shop was just not sufficient, so he knocked that down, and he's building the process of building a new shop. So, which is long overdue for him, and I really am happy for him that he finally was able to get that. So I know it's something he's been wanting forever. But I'll leave you guys with a few pictures here. If you're curious on what tractors that I've sold, the 1928 John Deere D, that one's gone. That one actually sold in a couple hours. The 1938 Farmall F20, that one's gone, and it actually went to Colorado. So the John Deere D is close by, so I'll probably see it at some shows eventually when the guy does get it up and running. But I asked him to keep me updated with photos so that I could keep you guys updated on that tractor, because that was one that I really, it's still one that I really hopefully want to get someday. But the F20, that one's going to Colorado, or went to Colorado. The 1942 John Deere A, I sold that to a friend of mine that's a frequent flyer at the Almaland Threshing Show, so we'll probably see that one at Almaland. And then the 1944 Minneapolis ZTU went to somebody just a few miles up the road, and they're going to use it for haying and things like that. And after I cleaned the tank out, that thing started and ran beautifully. So we're down to 3 tractors: the Case SC, the Farmall M, and the Farmall H. So, but right now that's just fine, because family's always first, and to me, there's nothing more important than family. So I hope you guys understand that and agree with it. And I know that this may slow down tractor projects for videos, but trust me, there's plenty of things to do around the house here. As far as tractors go, I can always make videos of pulling brush and pulling stumps, and plow day videos when we have them. And eventually I don't think I'm going to get to it this winter, but maybe I'd like to split the Case SC and break down the entire transmission, and replace any worn bearings and shafts, and really go through that thing pretty much like we did the Farmall H. That thing is making some serious growling noises in the rear end, so it's probably a combination of worn bearings and loose drive chains, because that's a chain driven final drive in that transmission. So anyways, that's what's going on around the house. That is the John Deere 55V chainsaw, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. The little bit of outdoor work we did, and as always, thank you guys so much for your support and respect. I mean, I've had some really great comments and accolades that really have helped the last few months. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than thank you so much. So with that, hopefully the next video, I do have a stump we got to pull out in the back here with the case. So hopefully the next video will be some stump pulling, and I'll kind of show you just a little bit of what I did around the house here the last couple weeks to pass the time. And they're just some landscaping projects that I've wanted to get done since we moved in here. So, and it's not done yet. So anyways, here's a few photographs. I took some photos of the tractors on the trailers as they left, and then I also wanted to kind of brag for Domino about the treehouse that he's building, and I helped him just a small amount on, but he's done an amazing job on this treehouse, and it's not done yet, but this is the one photo I do have of it. So take care, guys, and thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.